Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and to another video. I'm currently filming this on New Year's Eve, so hopefully by the time this goes up it will be New Year's Day. So happy New Year, happy 2024, and I hope this year is another great year for you all and you read some amazing books. But as you can see from the title of this video, I'm going to talk you through my January TBR, well MBR. I am going to be taking part in 3 different readathons that are pretty much all within the space of 10 days. So it's going to be a lot, and I think my TBR is a little bit ambitious, but I'm going to try my best to get through as much of it as I can. I'm not going to put any pressure on myself this year to read tons and tons of stuff. I'm just going to read what I want to read and just have some fun with it. But currently, on New Year's Eve, I'm currently in the middle of probably my last book of the year, and that is Grown by Tiffany D. Jackson. I'm currently 134 pages in, and it reads very, very quickly, and so far I'm really, really enjoying it. I was just intrigued to pick it up, just for some reason. I was just like, you know what, it's been staring at me to read, and I've always fancied reading it for a while, so I just decided to pick up. So hopefully by the end of today I hopefully will finish this, because it is a very, very quick read. So I just want to quickly mention that before I move on to my January TBR. So I'm going to talk you through the readathons I'm going to be taking part in, and first off I'm going to be taking part in Winterween, which is a spooky spoopy readathon which was created by Gabby from Gabby Reads and Olivia from Olivia Reads a Latte, and it is going to be running from, now I've got the dates on my phone just to make sure I don't get them wrong. It's going to be running from the 5th to the 11th of January, and we have 5 reading prompts, and I will be doubling up on the prompts just because I've got quite a lot of other books for the other readathons I'm going to be taking part in, so I'm going to just double up my books that I've picked out for this round. So I'll put a picture up on the screen of the 5 reading prompts that we have for Winterween, and I'm really, really excited for it. I did Summerween last year and it wasn't very successful for me. I think I maybe read 2 books in that whole week, which isn't great. But I think with these 5 prompts, and I'm going to double up on the prompts, so fingers crossed I should be able to get through the books I picked out for this round. So the 5 reading prompts that we have for Summerween are: read a book in the dark, which can literally be anything really. Prompt number 2 is read a book with a witch on the cover. Prompt number 3 is a book with a snowy winter setting. Prompt number 4 is read a book with purple on the cover. And lastly, prompt number 5 is read a book with a W in the title. So okay guys, so the first book that I'm going to mention that I'm going to be using for the prompt for a book with a witch on the cover and for reading a book in the dark, I have wanted to read this middle grade book for so long, and it's just been sitting on my Kindle and I haven't managed to get to it yet. So I thought, because the prompt came up, I thought it would be a perfect fit for the prompt. But the book is that I'm going to be reading for the book with a witch on the cover prompt, and for a book for reading in the dark, is Ava Evergreen, Semi-Magical Witch by Julie Abe. This is a spoopy middle grade, and as you can see there's a witch on the cover. And we're following Ava Evergreen, who is determined to earn the rank of novice witch before she turns 13 years old. If she doesn't, she'll lose her magic forever. For most young witches and wizards, it's a simple enough test. Help your town, do good all round, live there for 1 moon, don't leave too soon, fly home by broomstick, the easiest of tricks. The only problem, Ava only has a pinch of magic. She summons heads of cabbage instead of flowers, and gets a sunburn instead of calling down rain. And to add insult to injury, whenever she overuses her magic, she falls asleep. When she lands in the tranquil coastal town of Oteri, the residents expect a powerful witch, not a semi-magical witch. So Ava comes up with a plan: set up a magical repair shop to aid the town and prove she's worthy. She may have more blood than magic, but her semi-magical fixes repair the lives of the townspeople in ways that they could never have imagined. Only Ava's a bit of magic may not be enough when the biggest magical storm in history threatens the town she's grown to love. Ava must conjure up all of the magic, bravery and cleverness she can muster, or Aturi and her dreams of becoming a witch will wash away with a storm. So it sounds really, really cute and sweet, and it definitely gives me vibes of Kiki's delivery service. So Yeah, I'm really excited to give this one a try. It's definitely been a middle grade I've been wanting to get to for a while, and I thought putting a middle grade on a shorter read would be a good idea for a readathon. So yeah, I'm really excited to get to that one, and as I've said, I'll use that for the book for A Witch on the Cover and a book to read in the dark prompt. So yeah, I'm really excited to get to Ava Evergreen. Okay guys, so my second book that I'm going to be using for the prompt of a book with a snowy or wintry setting is another middle grade, and it's actually my middle grade magic book club pick for January. So if you don't know, I run the middle grade magic book club. I'll leave the information in the box down below if you wanted to take part in it, but this will be our first pick for January. And the book that I'm going to be using for that prompt is Raven Winter by Susanna Bailey. This is again a middle grade, and we follow the main character Billy, and ever since Billy's kind and nature-loving dad went to prison, her life has lost its shine, and now Mum's new boyfriend has moved in and home is full of sharp glass silences. Billy's never felt more alone until one day she discovers an injured young Raven, and in nursing him back to life, Billy finds friendship, hope, and a letter that might bring her one step closer to reuniting with Dad. Raven Winter is a story of friendship, family, and a belief in a very special relationship with a young Raven set against the beautiful and the wintry backdrop of the Yorkshire Dales. So it sounds really, really lovely, and Amanda, who is one of my book club members, recommended it to me, and I thought it would be quite a good pick to start off the 2024 with. So yeah, I'm really excited to again get to this one. So I'll be using that book for the wintry setting prompt. So yeah, I'm really excited to get to that one. Okay guys, and for the final two prompts that are left for Summerween, which were to read a book with purple on the cover and a book with a W in the title, I could only think of one book really that I thought would be a really good fit. It's got purple and it's got the letter W in the title, and if you haven't guessed it, it's The Hurricane Wars by Thea Guanzon. So as you can see, purple on the cover and W in the title. So this is a fantasy, adult fantasy with enemies to lovers, war. It's definitely given me, I think, Star Wars vibes, Kylo Ren and Rey from Star Wars vibes. So I'm not going to read the whole synopsis because it's quite long, so I'll just read the back of the book for you. So, the Night Empire casts a long shadow over the land. Nothing can stand in the way of its might and power. Year by year, the hurricane wars take and take, and yet there is hope in the darkness. One lone light stands against the empire. So yeah, it definitely sounds really up my street, and it's also been picked for me for my 12 Books and 12 Friends list, which I'll leave a link to my video somewhere up there or down in the box below. but yeah, so I briefly started this in November, and I decided to put it down because I didn't want to rush it. So I think it's definitely perfect timing that this readathon has come up, and I will also be, if I don't manage to finish it off by the end of Summerween, I'll definitely be using it for one of the other readathons I'm definitely going to be taking part in that week as well. So yeah, I'll be reading the Hurricane Wars for both of those prompts, and I'm really excited. Okay guys, so the other two readathons that I'm going to be taking part in that same week, and they are both run by the lovely Steph from Steph Loves. I'll leave Steph's channel down below. If you haven't checked out her videos, please go ahead and do so. She's the loveliest human being, and I just love her videos so much. And the readathons that she is hosting, so first off, we're going to be doing another round of the Box readathon, which is her F1 Patreon readathon. We started this in January, and it's been a lot of fun doing these readathons. So they are normally 24-hour readathons, but in November we did a week-long round, which was the Box readathon, and our only prompt for that readathon was to read special edition books, so subscription box books that we haven't managed to get round to when they come in, and they've just been sitting on our shelves for just a long time and they never get picked up. And we did that round in November, and I had such a great time, and I'm really successful. I managed to read 4 of my subscription box books, and I was really, really proud of myself, so I can't wait to do this round again. And the other readathon that I'm going to be doing within that week is the Final Book Support Group readathon, which again is hosted by Steph, and that is the aim of that readathon is to read final books, continue series, that kind of thing. So the F1 readathon and Final Book support group will be running from the 8th to the 14th of January, and the Final Book Support Group Readathon will be the Friday, Saturday and the Sunday that week, so the 12th to the 14th of January. So they are kind of meshed into one this time, so which is great. So I've picked out a few things that I can use for both readathons. There are some prompts for Final Book Support Group, but I've decided not to do the prompt bingo board and just read what I want to read for that weekend, so I'm not putting any pressure on myself to complete prompts. And as I've mentioned, the only prompt for the F1 Box Readathon is to read special edition books. So I've picked out a few options that I don't think I'm going to get to all of them, but I'm going to try my best and see how much I can get read this time. But yeah, without further ado, let's just get into my picks for the Box Readathon and Final Book Support Group Readathon as well. Okay guys, so the first book that I'm going to put on my Box Readathon list is a priority that I would like to get to, and if I don't manage to read it within the Box Readathon, I'll definitely read it for Final Book Support Group at the weekend. But I got this book as a Secret Santa gift from one of Jodie from Vanilla Moon's Patreons, because I'm part of her Patreon, so I wanted to say a massive thank you to Rosalind for gifting this as my Secret Santa gift. I really appreciate it. But the book in question is Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies by Heather Fawcett. This cover is just so beautiful. It's so pretty. And I have been wanting to get to this one for a really long time, and this will count for the Box Readathon because this was in a special edition fairy loot box, so it definitely will count. So as Steph has said, if we don't own the actual subscription box version of the book, if we own a standard copy but it was featured in a subscription box, we can count it for the readathon. So this was definitely a fairy loot book, so I'm definitely going to count it for the Box readathon. But in this, it's a cosy fantasy with any rivals to lovers romance, I think, in here. And we're following Emily Wilde, who is writing the world's first encyclopedia of fairy lore, but Emily Wilde is not good at people. And I think that there's a rival academic that comes to the town that she's living in, Wendell Bambleby, I think that's how you say it. And I think they are definitely rivals to lovers, and as Emily gets closer to uncovering the secrets of the hidden ones, the most elusive of all fairies, she also finds herself on the trail of another mystery. Who is Wendell Bambleby, and what does he really want? To find the answer, she'll have to unlock the greatest mystery of all, her own heart. So it definitely sounds really cosy fantasy, and I'm definitely wanting to try and get into more cosy fantasy, and I think this has been on a lot of people's favourite book of the year list so far this year, and yeah, I'm really excited to get to this one. And I think the second book has come out fairly recently, or it's coming out in January, but yeah, I'm really excited. And this cover is just so beautiful. Looks so whimsical and cozy, and yeah, I can't wait to get to this one. Okay, so next up guys is a book that's maybe a little bit different, but I'm pretty sure I have seen this book in a subscription box book of the month, which we don't get that in the UK, but it's an American subscription box, and as Steph said, we can use books that are featured in subscription boxes. But I was very intrigued by this. I picked this up on a whim in Waterstones fairly recently, and I've been really intrigued to get to it. But the book in question is Killers of a Certain Age by Dina Rayborn, I think that's how you say it, but it's one of those really floppy paperbacks, which I really love. And it's compared to the Thursday Murder Club, which I have read. I read ages ago, and I really enjoyed that one. So Charlie's Angels meets the Thursday Murder Club in this action-packed globe-trotting adventure full of twists, turns, and whip-smart women. So we're following 4 older women who were previously assassins, and I think the story is that they have to come out of retirement because they're trying to get picked off by the agency that they worked for. So I think it'll be a lot of fun and very Thursday Murder Club vibes, which I really enjoyed that book. So if it's not part of Book of the Month, I will still read it for Final Book Support Group, so I'll still definitely read it during that week. But I think it will be a really fun, quick cozy mystery, and yeah, I'm really excited to pick this one up. Next up is a book I've had a funny relationship with because I soft DNF'd this book in the middle of this year actually, I can't remember if I was reading it for a readathon specifically or if I just picked it up, but I think I got maybe 100 pages in and put it down and never came back to it because I wasn't in the mood for it. But I have since read another book by this author, and it was in my top 3 books of the year, so I wanted to give it another try and see if I like it again. And I got gifted both of the books in this duology for Christmas by the lovely Demi, so thank you Demi for gifting these both to me. But the book in question is A River Enchanted by Rebecca Ross. This was definitely featured in a Fairy Loot subscription box. Fairy Loot or Illumicrate, I can't remember, but it's definitely been a subscription box, so I can count it for box readathon. But I just love this cover. It's really, really pretty. And I think it's enemies to lovers romance in here, and it's based on Celtic mythology, Scottish mythology, I think. Obviously, being Scottish myself, I do appreciate that. So we're following the 2 main characters, Jack and Adaria, I think that's how you say it, and there's spirits on this island, and I think that there are young girls going missing, and they need to work together to try and figure out what's going on. As they reluctantly work together, it becomes apparent the trouble with the spirits is far more sinister than thought, and an older, darker secret lurks, threatening to undo them all. So I'm willing to give it a try, because I read Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross, and that was in my top 3 books of the year. So I'm going to give it another chance to see how I get on with it. And now I've got the second book, so I can go straight into that now if I do enjoy it. So I'm going to try and get to this one during box readathon, but if not, I'll definitely pick up during Final Book Support Group weekend. So yeah, River Enchanted. Yeah, I'm a little bit apprehensive to try this again, but I'm really want to love it. So fingers crossed I can get down to it during this readathon. Okay, so next up is a subscription box book that I got fairly recently, and I'm pretty sure this was the November pick for Fairy Loot YA, I think. But the book is The Scarlet Alchemist by Kylie Lee Baker, yeah. This edition is just absolutely stunning, and it's got the most amazing sprayed edges, and it's definitely given me Poppy War vibes. And we're following the main character who wants to become a royal alchemist, and she gets to go to the royal palace to take part in these trials to become a royal alchemist, but there is a possible assassination attempt, and she needs to work with the Crown Prince, and I'm assuming that there's a romance that happens between them. Monsters lurking within the palace walls, and it's a stunning young adult fantasy set in an alternate Tang Dynasty China. So yeah, I'm really excited to give this one a try, and I have heard a lot of good things. I know Jodie from Vanilla Moon read it recently. I think she gave it 4.5 stars. It wasn't quite a 5-star, but I think she really enjoyed it, so it's definitely higher on my priority list to get to. And I love like Asian inspired fantasy, so yeah, I'm really excited to give this one a try. Okay, so next up, guys, is another subscription box book, which was the December Fairy Loot YA pick, and I've been desperate to read this book ever since I got it. It's definitely one that I am really anticipating is hopefully going to be a 5 stars, and the book is What the River Knows by Isabel Ibanez. This is set during, it's a historical fantasy set in Egypt, and the blurb says, the mummy meets death on the Nile in this lush historical fantasy set in 19th century Egypt, filled with adventures, rivals to lovers, romance, and a dangerous race. So that's all I need to know about this book, really. And a few authors that I have read from before, Elizabeth Lim and Rebecca Ross, actually have blurbed it, so I have got really high hopes for this, and this is a stunning Fairy Loot edition, which I am absolutely obsessed with. It's just so beautiful, and even on the naked hardback, it's even more stunning. It's just gold, and I'm absolutely obsessed with this edition. So this is definitely going to be a very much a priority read for me during the box readathon. So I think I might maybe start with this one first, because I'm just so excited to get to it, because The Mummy was one of my favourite movies growing up, the Brendan Fraser Mummy movies. So yeah, I'm really excited to give this one a try, and this edition is just absolutely stunning. Okay guys, so next up, this book is a little bit ambitious, and I don't know if I will manage to get to it at all during this readathon, but I've put it on the list anyway because I am going to be budget reading this book hopefully with Barb from Barb's Bookland. I need to actually message her to check when we want to do the buddy read, but the book is Swordcatcher by Cassandra Clare. This is Cassandra Clare's adult fantasy debut, I think, and she's better known for the Shadowhunter series, which is more YA target audience, but this is my first Cassandra Clare book because I've never picked up anything by Cassandra Clare, but this is the stunning Illumicrate edition, and it has been featured in a Fairy Loot subscription, so I can count it for Box readathon, but I prefer this edition. It's just so beautiful, and I am actually really excited for this one, so I won't read the whole blurb because it is quite long, but I'll just read the little blurb at the top of the book. So, 2 outcasts have the power to change everything, but will they grasp the hand of destiny? So we're following Kel and Lynn. Kel is a sword catcher to the Crown Prince, so basically his body double, so he has to protect the Crown Prince in this world. And then Lynn is an Ashkari physician, and they have magical abilities, and they are pretty much ostracised from this community. I think both of them come together, and I'm assuming that there's a romance that happens between them, and it's the start of a brand new series, and I am really excited to give this one a try, and I'll hopefully be buddy reading it with Barb, so I'll need to double check when we want to do the buddy read, but I am really excited to give this one a try, and if I like it, hopefully I might maybe be more intrigued to pick up the Shadowhunter series by Cassandra Clare, because I've never ever read that series. I know it's very, very popular, so fingers crossed I can get to this one. It is just over 600 pages, so it is a big chunky one, but if I can maybe make a start on it during the read, I'll be quite happy with it, but we'll see. But yeah, Swordcatcher I'll hopefully be picking up for Box readathon as well. Okay guys, we're almost there with my TBR, so I wanted to include a couple of books that were picked for me on my 12 Books and 12 Friends list, and 2 of them are definitely subscription box books, so I can definitely count it for Box readathon. So the first book I'm going to mention is Bonesmith by Nikki Pau-Preto. I'm pretty sure this was in a YA Fairy Loot box. Yeah, it was in the YA Fairy Loot. And this edition again is just so stunning, and the edges are absolutely beautiful, and I really, really love this edition. So it says in the little blurb here, so Gideon the Ninth meets the Game of Thrones White Walkers in this dark young adult fantasy about a disgraced ghost-fighting warrior who must journey into a haunted wasteland to rescue a kidnapped prince. So it definitely gives me like Throne of Glass vibes as well, the main character. But yeah, I'm really excited to give this one a try, and I think again Jodie from Vanilla Moon has read this, and I think she gave it 4.5 stars and she really enjoyed it, so fingers crossed. I love this one as well, and again Fairy Loot have just got the most stunning editions, and I absolutely love this. So it kind of matches my jumper a little bit actually, which is quite cool. So yeah, I'll hopefully be getting to Bonesmith during that week as well. Okay guys, and we finally reached my final book pick for the Box readathon, and if I don't manage to get to it during the Box readathon, I'll definitely pick up during the final book support group readathon. But this was in a recent Illumicrate subscription box, and this edition is just absolutely beautiful, that I want to try and at least get to this book if I can. But the book is Starling House by Alex E. Harrow. I've never read anything by this author before, and I think she wrote Once and Future Witches, I think she wrote, which I do actually want to get to as well this year, so fingers crossed I can do that as well. But this is definitely, I think, maybe like ghost kind of story, maybe dark academia vibes, and this edition is just absolutely beautiful. And apologies to the glare because it's a see-through dust jacket, which I think is really, really nice. So if I take off the dust jacket, it looks like this, which is really, really, really pretty. Yeah, so I really, really like that touch. And it also comes with amazing sprayed edges, which match the dust jacket, and really, really pretty artwork on the naked hardback as well. And I mean, I could probably read this for Winterween as well, because it pretty much is all purple, but I wanted to try and do it during the Box readathon because it would get off my TBR. So, and it also comes with amazing really pretty end papers as well. So I don't want to read too much into this one, but I'm assuming it's a creepy house, and I think there'll be a lot of secrets involved. I don't know if there's a romance in here, but yeah, I am excited to give this one a try. Apologies for the noise there. There we go. It's a little bit stiff to get on. But yeah, so Starling House, I'll hopefully try and get to during box reads on, but I am really excited for this one as well. Okay guys, so that is my complete TBR for my 3 readathons that I'm wanting to get involved in January. It is a little bit ambitious, but I'm going to try my best to get through as many of these as I can. But I wanted to quickly mention some shorter reads that I would like to get to, and I'm definitely going to try and read them through Final Book Support Group in the weekend as well. So I desperately want to continue on with more manga this year, so I want to continue on with Attack on Titan. This is the omnibus edition, which has 3 volumes, 4, 5 and 6. So if you haven't, I got into Attack on Titan towards the end of the year. My sister's quite a big manga fan, so she has got me interested in giving it a watch as well. We're watching the series as well, but I want to read the actual manga as well. It's very, very brutal and very, very gory, so please do check your triggers going in. But this is a dystopian world, I would say, and we're following this town that has this like world that lives behind these walls, and these titans show up, and the main character wants to basically destroy all the titans, and joins like the kind of army in this world to just help to destroy all the titans from breaking into the city. And it's very gory and violent, but the story I think is really well done, and I think so far the anime is pretty good as well, and I think it does a great job of bringing the manga to life as well. But yeah, so I do want to continue on with 4, 5 and 6. I finished off volume 3 yesterday actually, and I gave it 5 stars. I'm really excited to see where this manga goes, and I'm a little bit terrified, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, I'm really excited to continue on with this. I think having some shorter reads during readathons is a good shout as well, so I might maybe read a manga, like 1 volume maybe like each day, to kind of break up the readathon. So yeah, fingers crossed I can get to this one, but yeah, I'm really excited to continue on. Another manga that I'm desperate to get back to and to carry on with is One Piece. I'm currently at volume 10 and I haven't managed to continue with it. I briefly started it, but I haven't continued on with it. So this is a very, very popular manga, and I got this recommendation from Gavin Reads It All. He's pretty much up to date with the whole One Piece series, and yeah, I'm really excited to continue on with this series. So we're following Monkey D. Luffy, who wants to become king of the pirates, and he has to build a pirate crew, and they're trying to find the One Piece so he can become the king of the pirates. And it's a lot of fun adventure, and there's a lot of really touching moments in there as well. So I'm really excited to finally continue on with it this year and try and get a bit of a way into it, because my sister's watching the anime and she's quite far in, so I would like to continue on with actually reading the manga in 2024 and see how far I can get in the series. But yeah, I'm really excited to get to this one as well. Okay guys, and my last book that I'm going to put on my TBR for January is, I think, probably going to be the first book I pick up in January. I've been really excited to get to this book for ages since I got it, and I haven't had a chance to get around to it, but it is Britney Spears' new memoir, which is The Woman in Me. I've got a bookmark in here all ready to go, so I think this will definitely be hopefully my first read for January. So it's basically Britney Spears' memoir, and it's written with incredible, remarkable candour and humour. Spears' groundbreaking memoir illustrates the enduring power of music and love, and the importance of a woman telling her own story on her own terms at last. So I think it'll go back into her backstory and a lot of stuff that went down when she was first starting out, and obviously the whole drama with her father and the whole conservatorship. We might find out a bit more about that. So yeah, I'm really excited to give this a read, and I've got the audiobook as well. I'm going to try the audiobook and see how I get on with it, but I'm really excited to give this a try, and this should hopefully be my first read of 2024, and I'm really excited to give this one a read. So that is my last book I'm going to put on my January TBR. Okay guys, so that is my whole January TBR complete, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know down below what your first read of January is going to be and what some of the books you've got on your January TBR, and let me know if you're going to take part in any of the readathons, if you've got some plans for those. And yeah, I'm really excited for January. Fingers crossed it's going to be a great start off to the year with some really good books. So if you liked the video, give me a like and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye guys!